We are here this morning with Ryan Mon, aka Baby Mon, Peanut, all kinds of other stuff, I'm sure. But he just got back from AM Worlds in Illinois, and he completed the AM Slam this year, all three AM majors.
Yep.
We wanted to do a little interview with him this morning, kind of share his background in disc golf, ask him a few questions about the tournaments this year, and basically his entire background in disc golf as a whole. Good morning, sir.
How's it going?
Good. Appreciate you being with us this morning.
Of course.
I am Ryan Ish Ulmer with Down South Disc. We have Vern taking care of our video and audio needs, so appreciate him as well. And we'll start off with when did you first learn about disc golf?
I think I learned about disc golf in 2017 or 16 when my brothers and my dad started playing, and then I started playing in around 2020. So I guess you could say the 2017, 2020 range.
What did you like most about it when you first started playing?
How easy it was to get into, how inexpensive it was, and how much fun it was to play with other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very family-oriented sport. You can play with how many ever people you want. There's no limit. Like in basketball, you technically have to do 5-on-5 if you were going to play. You can only have 10
Gotcha.
people maximum. If you want to go out and play disc golf with 15 people, you could do that if you wanted to.
Or by yourself?
Or
Yeah.
by yourself, exactly.
Now, before you started playing disc golf, what sports did you play before that?
Played soccer before I turned like 11, stopped that, played basketball, and then I found out I was pretty good at disc golf, so I started playing disc golf more.
And you briefly said your family played before you started learning how to play. Did any of your friends play also, or is that something that you got into with your friends later?
Well, John Puckett is a guy who lives up the street from me. He took out a DX Beast and was just throwing it around the neighborhood, scraping it all over the road. I saw him on my window one day. I was like, "Bro, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm throwing this disc around the road." I'm like, "I think my brother has some," so we went and played a course and just.
What all was in your bag when you first started playing?
Oh gosh, probably the first round I played. I think I was putting with a Pure. I threw a Zone, a Buzz, and an Onyx. Maybe I'm the last one, an Onyx, and then I might have had another Zone or something in there, but I was mainly a forehand guy when I started, so the Zone was a great option.
Forehand only at the beginning?
Forehand for the most part until up to 2021, where I was like, oh, I kind of like this sport. I want to take it more serious. To where I started working with Jake and tried to learn more backhand stuff.
Mm-hmm. When you had that first bag, what was your favorite go-to disc?
I had a red 5-claw Zone that Jake gave me. I don't know why he gave a 12-year-old kid a 5-claw Zone, but he did, and I literally threw it in every single hole and every single upshot, and that's all I threw. I sometimes even putted with it.
Oh my goodness!
But yeah, I threw that pretty much in every hole I could.
How often would you play when you first started playing?
Well, I started actually playing in 2020, like summer. It was around the end of summer, so me and John normally played around, I'd say 3 times a week. But we couldn't drive ourselves obviously then, so we had to wait for his dad to get home from work, and then we went. Or we started making a course in our backyard where we played a lot as well. So I would say probably 3 to 4 times a week.
Any broken windows or hit
There's
people?
one right there, yep. Still a broken window here.
Oh,
I haven't got it
goodness.
fixed, but it's double pane, so it's nothing too serious.
How long did you play casually before you joined your first tournament?
3 months. I don't recommend that if you don't know what you're doing. But I had 3 other people in my family who had a PGA number before me and knew what they were doing, and people like you who were running the tournament who I knew.
Mm-hmm.
So I played a tournament, one of your tournaments to start off, and then that's how.
Which tournament was it?
I think the first one I played was the SC Junior Championship, which wasn't by you, but the next one was by you, the Chainsaw Classic.
The one at Dolly?
Yeah, the one at Dolly was this. And then I played the Chainsaw Classic in 2020 with you. I think I averaged like 773.
Nice. How many events did you play in before you got your first win?
Do you want me to look?
Yeah, let's look.
I think it's probably like 10 events in.
Okay.
Maybe.
And that was all you play in the juniors divisions?
Juniors division and some of MA3, mainly juniors. But then I realized juniors doesn't. The max you can really get in juniors is like 5 people in there, and plus when the people I was playing with in the junior class, I guess you could say, I got better. They went to MA3, so I just went to MA3 with them.
I gotcha. I know that you've been mostly playing MPO this year in 2024, except for the majors that you played in. Did you play any other events in AM this year besides the majors?
Played one event in AMs. It was NADHD at Lula, I think, and I think I won it by 12 or 14. So
how many rounds?
3 rounds.
Okay.
I think I shot course record at Lula OG, and I was like, there's no point in playing AMs if I'm going to win by this much.
Yeah.
So I just decided to play pro only.
Okay, so 2024, you're playing MPO already, except for the AM majors.
Mm-hmm.
Walk me through how many years you played juniors, MA3. How'd you walk up through the divisions?
I tried to base it like if I could get a quote unquote big win in the division, I'd move up. So I played juniors, until I got my first win in juniors, which is like I think it was in July. Then I played MA3 only from there. I won Hub City Halloween Open in MA3, so I moved up then. Then I won Myrtle Beach Championship and Huck Central in MA2, so I moved up then. And then I stopped playing MA1 at the end of this year when I won. I won a good amount of H-years in MA1, so there's no point of going back.
Yeah. At the beginning of 2024, what were your goals for this year?
To win all 3 of the M majors, and I'm glad to say I completed that. But no, it's really I wasn't 1,000 rated by that time. I think I was 998. I wanted to get to 1,000, and then I wanted to get to 10:05 by my birthday, which I was 10:07 when my birthday came around, and I'm trying to get to 10:20 at the end of this year because I got a good jump today.
Nice little rating boost this morning. What was it, 8-point jump?
8 point up to 10:15.
Up to 10:15. Congrats. Walk me through that event. I know it had an extremely exciting finish. What happened in the first couple of rounds there?
First round, first hole, first MA1 major technically. I was kind of nervous, ripping headwind, chucked it OB. Got up and down though, so I was like, okay, we're fine. Ended up shooting I think a 5 under round 1 with a 3 or 2 bogeys, I think, and it put me in tied first place. It was like 1030 rated, and I went to round 2. I was tied, and I shot like a 2 or I think it was a 2 under, which rated still 1,000, but I was back 3 of the lead. And going into the final round, I was like, the dude who ended up beating, Lucas Carmichael, is from Colorado. He throws really far, and he's a pretty good upshotter and a decent putter. And I was thinking in my head after hole 17, I think I was down 3 going to hole 17. I was like, I think I was going to win. So I threw my forehand up, and I was like, man, he's got this one. It's his style of course to win. He's played in this one before, but then some unfortunate things happened on his part, and some fortunate for me, I guess you could say, and some good play from me led me to the win on that one, just taking a par on the last hole.
And that was what you were down to with 1 hole to go on that one, and 3-stroke swing on the last hole.
Well, the last hole of Toboggan now, it used to be, I think it was voted the worst finishing hole on tour before they changed it. And they changed it to this monster par 4, which it's really hard to birdie, which I like. This OB lining every side. You have to pretty much throw 2 perfect backhand up the hill and a perfect forehand into the green to get a birdie. So I like how they made that hole different.
I know that I was it didn't have any live coverage, so I was sitting there watching the live scoring, and it had the U-disc where it shows first person's first throw inbounds, first person's throw OB, and I was just watching the live scoring going down to the wire, and we were just sitting on the edge of our seats when it said third shot by him OB, and it said you were putting from 20 feet for par, and then it said third or fourth shot OB, and I was like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Adam was getting like 3 calls at one time.
Oh, absolutely. I was one of those people. I was trying to blow him up.
It said 20 feet for par, but it was really like 3 feet for par.
Oh, wow. So how'd that first AM major win feel? I mean, that was obviously one of the checklisted goals for this year.
Yeah, that was I guess shocking. It really took about 2 days to settle in, then I actually won that tournament. But it felt really good, obviously. But I didn't play the best the second round, which kind of cost me 3 strokes, obviously. But that was definitely the hardest one to win because there's only 3 rounds, and you can't get much separation through 3 rounds at a tournament.
Yeah.
I think personally they should move it to 4 rounds at that course, but
no, it's all the same layout. It's 3 rounds.
Okay. Which I like. I like having all the same layout on that part of a course. I think that could be the best AM major if they make it 4 rounds. That could be the most pivotal and most challenging one to win if they make it 4 rounds, because how hard that course is, how mentally tasking it is, and how physically tasking it is with all the hills. But it took a while to set in that I won it. But when I got back home and Discraft sent me the disc, I had the disc in my hand. I was like,
I did it.
It is a surreal feeling having the disc in your hand with your face on it. So.
What were you practicing? What were you doing to improve before that second AM major?
With 3 events before, I played IDGC Ironman, which I won that one, but that's not like too big of a win. Obviously, it was a C or V tier, but that one helped out a lot because it was still like a physically tasking tournament. You play 4 rounds in one day.
Yeah.
And so that's where that helped out. Not getting fatigued, trying not to get fatigued, because when you're tired, the putting lacks a lot, and the power, obviously. But that helped out with the fatigue set. And I went up to Des Moines, which helped play Des Moines Challenge, got like 76. That helped out with playing harder courses, because that course is obviously on the tour, so it's going to be a harder course. Seeing how I stacked up against them. Then I went to Kansas City, which should be on the Elite Series tour, in my opinion. It was a Q Series. That course was really hard. I'm pretty sure I shot I shot one under. It was 1030 rated or something like that. So of course, there's a lot of OB and has a lot of length, so that helped out with playing smart and laying up when I needed to.
Smart golf.
Smart
Yeah.
golf.
Going into Junior Worlds, that was how many rounds?
5.5.
Okay. And to start off with, you what happened in the first round? Did you get a good start going, or?
Oh no! I bogeyed the first hole. I bogeyed the first hole, and then I don't know. It was so bad the first round. I could not make a putt inside 30. I couldn't make a putt anywhere really. I had to be inside the bullseye to make a putt. I don't know. My timing was off my putt. I asked Rico, and he was like, "Yeah, your timing's off." It was out. It was off at Tennessee State before MNATs. I worked on it there, and I got the timing correct. You really just got to slow it down, but I know. But the putting was off, and then I went back to the practice green, putted a little bit, and fixed it. So worked out
Okay.
for the next round.
So you got a little bit of putting practice between round one and round two.
Mhm.
All right. So what was a little bit different besides the putting for round two? You just kind of hit your lines and finally hit those inside 30 footers in the second round?
It was on a different course. The course I liked the most and felt most comfortable at. It was a flat wooded course, which I know I can succeed at. Yeah, I parred the first hole and got 6 in a row after that. There's a lot of par fours, which I like to think I'm pretty good at par fours. You can just play a first easy shot and then get a putter or mid into the green, which I enjoy a lot. But I was able to hit all those 20 to 35 footers. I think I didn't miss any from inside the circle that round. I maybe missed 2 or 3 from outside the circle, but those were like 55, 60 footer
Yeah,
eaves.
definitely
You're not
bonus
gonna,
ones.
they don't expect to make every time.
Of course not.
But I made a few like 40 footers that you expect to make sometimes.
So where did that put you as far as standings after the second round of Junior Worlds?
I think I was 6 under the first round, which put me in 18th, and I shot a 12 under 1053 or something, and that put me in first by 1 stroke.
Okay.
And then round 3, I shot a 12 under, so I was 30 under total. That gave me, I think it was a 7 stroke lead. And I shot another 10 under the fourth round. That gave me a 10 stroke lead. Then I went back to the same course I shot the 12 under at. I shot an 11, gave me a 13 going into the finals, which is the final 9. I kind of
Pretty nice cushion
yeah,
going into the
exactly.
last round.
Final 9, you kind of just mess around if you're up by that much.
That's
I was
right.
trying to throw stuff in,
Mhm.
get ace runs, stuff like that. So make the crowd happy and kind of enjoy it, kind of just walk it in.
Gotcha.
Essentially.
Of course, it's always nice to have that big of a cushion with that few holes to go.
Mhm.
As far as getting filmed on up in Michigan and at Junior Worlds, is that something that you are used to already? How many times have you been filmed before on lead card?
I've never been filmed like by, I guess you could say the biggest 3 people in disc golf, which I think is Joe Mez, Ace Run Pro, and Gatekeeper Media and
Mhm.
them. But people like Vern help me out with that. Obviously, being on coverage with him, it's not the biggest company, but it still gives you that pressure of on film. People are going to be able to watch this round and go back
Mhm.
whenever they want to see the
That's
round.
right.
So I think that definitely played a role in other people. I noticed other people have not been on coverage before, and they
Yeah.
were probably a little nervous.
Of course.
For me, I've been on coverage multiple times, and I was like, it's nothing new. So that gave me kind of an advantage.
Okay.
Coverage the first round.
After you won by so many at Junior Worlds, what do you think that you were practicing between Junior Worlds and Am Worlds?
Solo putting. Putting's the biggest thing in disc golf, I think. If you're a good putter, you can literally almost win every event. Like Andrew Marweed, his backhand isn't the best. Obviously, he has a phenomenal forehand, but his putt is really what gets him up there to those 1050, 1060 rated rounds is his consistent putting.
Those bonus birdies.
Exactly. I know Paul Macbeth said if you make everything inside the circle, you're going to shoot a 1,000 rated round if you were that skilled.
Yep.
So the putt, I came home and worked on that a little bit. And just kind of hung around with my friends on the last leg of summer. Went and played with them. Just had a little fun before we left for the last one.
Did you play any sanctioned events between Junior Worlds and Am Worlds?
No, I came home and just kind of chilled out, played a few casual rounds, walked with people at doubles, and just kind of played more doubles events, obviously. But yeah, just kind of had some fun and no sanction rounds.
Now, I know you had a bunch of your family be able to attend up in Michigan, Junior Worlds and Am Worlds. Who was consistently with you each one of the events?
Adam, my oldest brother, who's in college at Clemson, he drove me to every event. He played AmNats and Am Worlds, but he was with me at Des Moines, Kansas City, Junior Worlds, literally every event. My mom was there for every event too, but she flew out a little later because she had to work. And then Jake was there for Junior Worlds, a caddy for me at Junior Worlds, and he was there with Des Moines. So pretty much most of my family was there to get me ready and being supportive of me when I won those.
At Am Worlds, tell us what happened in the first round.
Oh gosh, first round. It was about 20 mile an hour winds the entire round, and the course we played for the first round. the first half was just wide open. I birdied hole 2 with a good putt, and I parred on 1, birdied hole 2, and then parred 3 through 9. So no more birdies in front. I was 1 under through 9. But I knew the back 9 was easier. I knew, like, I can still shoot an okay round. I looked at the scores. I think lead was 11 at that point. I was like, okay, to shoot like a 6 or a 7, give me a good spot. I ended up shooting 8. I missed hole 11 and 18 on the back 9. Got every other birdie, and that put me in chase car. I think I was 6th going in after that round. Then we played a pretty easy course after that. So I mean, I knew I was in a decent spot. I was down after Junior Worlds by 5 shots and still came back. I was in the lead after the second round, so I knew nothing was out of it. I knew no, you're never out of it until it's over.
That's right. And it looked like, just from watching it from afar, it looked like several, probably 10 or 12 different people were in the lead card throughout the entire week. I mean, it looked like it almost changed every single round with who was on the lead card.
Mm-hmm.
I know you made the lead card after round 2. You obviously played with a bunch of people. And like you said earlier, with not very many people playing on film before, that has to have at least a little bit of effect, if not,
sure.
a lot of effect, because you could see that, their rounds to get them on the lead card were, well above 1,000 rated,
exactly.
and then they get on lead card and, shoot well below 1,000. Obviously, the nerves are there, all that kind of stuff. Your experience being on film before had to, to help, big time. But what did you see as far as like your card mates playing? Was it something that you could definitely see that it was affecting them on film, or what was it? Just their play just not fortunate, them not getting kicks?
I think I had to do a mixture of all of them. Definitely the nerves kind of set in on the green for them, I think, and just I think they made too many mental mistakes. Obviously, I know one kid, he was 14 I played with. He was too quick to anger.
Yeah.
And that's what you see in a lot of AMs nowadays is they're too quick to anger.
Mm-hmm.
Like they throw one bad shot and they get upset.
Yeah.
I mean, he still had a putt from 40 feet, even though he threw a quote unquote bad shot. And his idea was he threw a bad shot, but he still had a 40 footer. Like you can make that and keep going.
That's right.
But as soon as he threw one bad shot, he just got kind of upset. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, he's going to calm down. I mean, he's a great player. He has every shot. I'm like, yo, calm down. You can play well.
Yeah.
I think that's what you see a lot nowadays. Is I don't think I'm quick to anger. I guess you could say. Obviously, I'm gonna get a little mad at some points if I don't birdie the easiest hole in the course or something like that. But
like 135.
Exactly. You didn't need to say that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with just. I mean, nobody got insanely good breaks. Nobody got insanely bad breaks.
Yeah.
Just how the cookie crumbled. But
yep.
I mean, it's just a lot of them were quick to anger.
And I do see a lot with, working with a bunch of teenagers and, kids on the juniors teams and stuff like that, the kids will learn how to throw very early. They can throw backhand, forehand, overhand, rollers, putt very good, approach game great, but the mental game is, 80% of the game after you can throw one of your strongest backhand or forehand about 450 and your weaker shot, 350 or so. All the rest is mental game. All the rest is getting that birdie back to back after you just bogeyed or double bogeyed the hole, keeping that mental game strong. What happened at the very end of AM Worlds?
End of M World. So I was just talking about round 3. We'll go to round 4. It was actually my birthday that day. Woke up, walked with Alan Vasquez, caddied for Davidson a little bit, and then came back, warmed up. I was feeling pretty good. We're playing a short course. It was a par 54, about just under 5,000 feet. So I wouldn't say it was too ideal for a major, but I didn't mind it since I like the shorter courses. But I was able to shoot a 15 under, 1077 to put me in the lead by 9 on my birthday. So that felt extremely well. Obviously, highest rated round on my birthday feels pretty special to do it at such a big tournament as well. Felt good. So I had 9 strokes going into the last round. At one point, due to my car, got it down to 6 strokes through 7 holes.
We were a little excited watching from home.
I was a little nervous, but I knew the next couple holes favored me a little more than him. I think I had a little better forehand than he did. And I got 2 strokes back on 8, 1 stroke back on 9, and 2 strokes back on 10, which then I looked at the scores. With 8 holes left, I was up 8 or 9 to the guy in second from the chase card. So I just had to get a couple more of the easy birdies that course gives you on the back 9 and just kind of settle in and just walk it down how I did at Junior Worlds. So it felt pretty good to get that one as well. It just kind of calmed me down, looking at the scores, and was able to walk that one in and take a bogey in the last hole, unfortunately, but
nice.
That's whatever.
Well, getting the W on all 3 of them, I guess, was the the key. I know you said that you had basically saved your AM status this year. Was that specifically for these majors to go to?
Pretty much. I knew nobody has done all three. As soon as I got the first one, I knew there was a good chance I could get all three.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one to win was the hardest one, obviously because I never won a major,
Yep.
and because it was a 3-round tournament, and because of the competition there.
Yeah.
Once I went to Junior Worlds, I knew the course favored me a little more than the second highest rated guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to focus up and win the second one, and then the third one, I just had to shoot some good rounds, and you win that one too. I think if you average 10-20 at the AM championships, you're gonna win.
Yeah. I briefly heard you talking about going to Kansas City and a couple of the other Elite Series / Disc Golf Pro Tour events. How many of those total have you been to this year?
I've played Chess.com, Des Moines Challenge for the Elite Series, and I've played 1Q Series in Kansas City. Those kind of prepare you for what the next step is going to be, I guess you could say.
Yep.
But also gets you ready to play harder courses and harder competition, which really helps you win the other smaller events.
Yep. Winning these events, what all have you qualified to be able to play from now on?
I'm playing D-Glow, Disc Golf Great Lakes Open. I qualified that at AM Nats, and USDGC. I qualified for that at AM Nats as well. Worlds next year, that was at AM Worlds, and I think that is it for right now.
Between now and December, what all do you have planned as far as, are you going to be playing local A tiers, local C and B tiers? Are you going to hit a couple more tour spots? What's your schedule the next couple months?
Well, my schedule from now until December is very jam-packed. I got a C tier that you're running in a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to take cash there. Then I go to D-Glow. Then I go play some probably local B or C tier here, and play maybe Carolina Clash, USDGC, Upstate Illinois Open, MBO, Jacksonville Open, the Q Series they're having at Coney.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Q Series finale or things like that, and just some smaller ones. Probably play what's the one? Frosty Fling too.
There you go. There you go. The last one at Fountain Inn.
Yep. Gotta
hit that one up.
I heard Evan might sign up for that one. So
nice.
I gotta go play that one.
So it looks like the next big one's USDGC coming up. What do you have between now and then that you'll be practicing during the week on? Is there something that you're trying to improve on? Is this just more putting and keeping accurate and keeping your mental headspace right, or what you got going on between now and USDGC?
Pretty much. I think USDGC is the most mental course in the world. Maybe you can never have a bad mental headspace there, else you're pretty much instantly out of it. I mean, you don't need to throw too far. I think I throw far enough for that course, but you definitely need to have a good headspace and just kind of keep the disc in bounds. That's really what gets you out there, is throwing the disc out of bounds, because it just comes so quickly. You throw out of bounds twice on pretty much any hole. There's Mandos everywhere. There's OB everywhere. You just keep it in bounds, and you're gonna probably place pretty well there.
Excellent. So what's in the plan for 2025?
2025. Wow. Probably some more tour events. Obviously, still some local A tiers, local B tiers. Probably still play some C tiers.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, gain as much money as you can and gain as much recognition as you can to get bigger sponsorships at bigger levels. But yeah, just play some more tour events, play some more local events.
Excellent. So hopefully you can get your touring card. Now, what does that look like? What do you have to do to get your card for? Would you take it next year and go on tour? Are you still in school, or?
My mom does not want me to go on tour next year since I'm still in high school. But if I get a tour card, I'm planning to get a silver card, because I know I was talking to Axel Olsen at he won AM Worlds last year, talking about chess.com, and he said he just applied for a silver card, which he got. A silver card gets you into 6 events, I think, or something like that. So if I can get that, that'd be cool, because you can just get a free spot into some of the events. You can go play there closer to here, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So hit them up and still go to school and keep mom happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, that's all basically I have. Obviously, congratulations on all 3 of the big AM majors. Appreciate you representing DSD throughout the years, and this year especially. Is there anything else you want to tell to the fans or give shout outs?
I want to thank Discraft, Down South Disc, Drive Bags, Circle One Disc, and obviously my parents and my family for all the support they have given me this year.
Excellent. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you next time.